Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back.
Do it.
That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there.
Sure. Yeah.
Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com. Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me. Absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay and choo-choo!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I am Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. Jimmy, you are on. He's like hyped up
so
today.
So early.
He's in on it today. He's like, I'm ready to go.
I'm not going to be late ever again.
That's right. I doubt that, but we're going to...
I've just figured out time, James. If you're not early, you're late.
If you're not early, you're late. That's right. If you're not 10 minutes early, you're 10 minutes late.
If you're on time, you're late.
That's right. So... we're going to get into this Small Town Murder Express. 2 pounds or 10 pounds of murder in a 2-pound bag. I'm sorry. There we go. Fun stuff here. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com.
Yeah.
Get your tickets for live shows. Austin, Texas, you are up next. There's not many tickets left, so get in there right now and finish them up and get in there and buy them. And also Boston and New York. Phoenix is sold out. And there is still time to get your tickets and watch the virtual live show.
What a show.
It was so fun. Wait till you see our costumes.
We committed.
And the case, too, was wild. A really fun show, but it's available for 2 weeks after October 30th. So if you're in that range of November 13th or whatever.
2024.
You got it. 2024, in case you're listening next year.
Yeah.
Check that out. shutupandgivememurder.com. So much fun.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Also, patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all the bonus material.
Bring it for me.
Anybody $5 a month or above, you get everything.
Yes, sir.
Entire back catalog, hundreds of bonus episodes you've never heard before. New ones every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder. And hey, you know what? We're feeling generous. You get it all, baby.
Take it all.
Take it all. This week we're going to talk about, for crime and sports, we're going to talk about a weird old-timey sport from the 1800s called pedestrianism.
Fascinating.
And there's performance-enhancing drugs and fighting.
Yeah.
And it was more popular than baseball and soccer.
Wow.
And it's the weirdest thing you're ever going to
trophy?
hear. It's, we'll talk all about it. Old school. Then, for Small Town Murder, we're going to talk about that exorcism documentary, The Devil on Trial. It's about I think it's one of the only cases in history where they tried to use demonic possession as an actual alibi or an excuse or a defense.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that and some other cool exorcism type stuff here. All of that and more. Patreon.com/crime in sports. So get in there right now. That said, it's time. Let's jump right into this because we have a seriously wild story for you today. I mean, just wow, you're going to be shaking your head after this. Man. So I think it's time, everybody sitting out there, let's all take a deep breath, arms to the sky. Let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, everybody. Let's go on a trip, shall we? Go. All right, we are going on down south again. We were in Alabama this week. Normally, we don't lump the places in together, but this week it's how it worked out.
It's fun to do different regions because then you get a taste. Sure.
But here we were Alabama, now we're going to Mississippi.
Okay.
Here, this is Wiggins, Mississippi.
Yeah, like
Chief Wiggum, or that's Wiggum.
Oh, yeah,
This is Wiggins.
Okay, like a Dr. Seuss book.
Yes, Wiggins, Mississippi. Southern Mississippi, down in the old Mississippi Panhandle there.
Yes, sir.
Is what I like to call it. That is where Alabama and Louisiana kind of intrudes on Mississippi down there. It's an hour and a half to Mobile, Alabama, to the east, and about an hour and a half to New Orleans to the west.
Oh, look at that.
It's right in between these two places. It's about 5 hours to our last Mississippi case, which was in Horn Lake, and that was called Burning Your BFF.
Oh, boy.
That was wild stuff there. So, that was a crazy-ass episode. This is in Stone County.
Sure.
Area code 601. Population here, 4,282. Okay. So a decent-sized small town.
Sure.
Still a very small town.
4,000's not that much.
Not that much, but it's not like 400, which is what we've been, a couple of them lately. Median household income here, it's low enough to be a problem, I would think. $48,784. Yeah, more than $20,000 less than the national average. Median home cost here, $138,900.
Get out of my life.
Median home cost here. That is
unbelievable.
So actually, the $48,000 isn't that terrible when you put it in context with that, and it's very inexpensive to live here overall. History of this town. Okay, 1886. James Madison Hatton, who is the son of Wiggins Hatton.
Yeah, that was the first name.
Wiggins Hatton, his name was. Homesteaded 160 acres of north central Harrison County, and they needed to have a definite place to meet and trade and exchange news.
Right.
Everybody to get together, so a small village was established on a portion of James Madison Hatton's land.
Sure.
It was called Niles City.
Oh.
He didn't name it after himself or his dad. Yeah. Niles City, in honor of Judge H.C. Niles.
Great guy.
And then they tried to get a post office in that name in 1896, but there was already a Niles City, Michigan. So the post office department said, no, thank you.
Already had a Niles City?
Niles City, which makes no sense because there's a bunch of city names and town names that are in every state.
Yeah.
How many Springfields are there?
Right, there's a bunch.
It's a joke, you know? Even Caledonia, there's like 30 Caledonias.
What?
There's like 20 Miamis in this country.
People, more than one person had the idea to name it Caledonia.
Yes. So to honor Wiggins Hatton, they named it Wiggins here. Okay. This is great. One of the first things they needed to do was build a town jail.
Okay.
So they built a town jail. It was a 12 by 20 foot. It was 10 foot high and had 2 rooms. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, they said that had to be very well constructed. They were very concerned about people breaking people out. Yeah. So it was so well constructed that a few years later, as a Halloween prank, Some of the teenagers from the area, young boys from the area, overturned the jail.
The whole building.
They turned it upside down. They flipped the jail over.
Like it's a Volkswagen Beetle.
Yes, that's a prank right there. They came to work the next day and they were like, well, I'll be a son of a bitch.
Dog my cats.
This is a goddamn jail, isn't it?
How are we going to get that doggone thing back on its side?
We're going to have to arrest only people walking on their hands from now on because this isn't going to work. So later they decided that we should construct a new jail that the children can't overturn. If the kids could overturn, imagine what an angry mob or like a group of outlaws who wanted to free a buddy could do.
Spike that to the ground. Why are circus tents built stronger than this?
They had some fires, of course.
Yeah.
1910, a fire destroyed all of the business part of town and a few residents as well.
Sure.
And the meeting place was moved to a room located in the southwest corner of the school building, and they had to fix shit, and they rebuilt it with brick buildings.
Smart.
In 1912, the American Pickle and Canning Company was founded.
Is that wow?
Absolutely. And then the plant burned to the ground in 1913.
Of course.
And a year later, and then it was replaced again. Reviews of this town, since we've never been here.
Right.
I don't know what's going on down there. Let's find out. Maybe other people do. Here's 5 stars. I love Wiggins, Mississippi.
Sure you do.
Fuck yeah. I've always lived here.
Is that right?
Ever since forever.
Son of a gun.
Most of my family is here. I love the small town atmosphere filled with people who genuinely care about you.
Oh.
Well, they or at least care about your business because they're nosy. I think that's what it is. I don't think they care about you.
Jesus.
But they care what you and your husband did and talked about, and they're going to tell their friend. There's no other town like Wiggins, and I'm proud that this is my hometown.
Okay.
Jesus, here's 3 stars. My town is, and then in quotes, all right. Not the best to live in, but it'll do.
Okay.
There are some troubles in this town, and Quit don't have the money to fix some things here.
They mean quite.
That's what I would think, yeah. That's why I want to move on to better things and get away from the troubles of this town.
Okay.
Finally, 2 stars. There aren't many things to do in Wiggins, nor are there many restaurants to eat at.
Yeah, there's only 4,000 people.
That's what I mean. There's only 1 high school and 1 middle school. It would be nice for more things to be opened up. They make it sound like there's a bunch of closed restaurants that they're just, they won't let you in. Yeah, it's all set up in there. You look in, there's booths and shit. The kitchen's all cleaned up with stainless steel shit. They're like, they won't let us in. Open it up.
Sign just says closed.
I swear we'll buy stuff. Just open it. Things to do here. Here we go. The Mississippi Music, Food, and Trail Ride Festival.
Trail ride, too.
Trail Ride. It is put on by Independent Chicks Entertainment.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's expected to draw nearly 10,000 people to this town, which is more than double.
This town's about to grow by 3?
They're going to triple the population
Wow.
in this town. There's something for everyone with live music, a car show, a talent contest with cash prizes. Those are always entertaining, as we know. Vendors, food, and more. Festival goers are invited to bring their lawn chairs, tents, and picnic blankets, too. Bring your tents.
Bring a tent.
Horses are even welcome here. Whatever you got. Donkeys, horses.
Pack your
relatives
pack your
from out of
steed,
town. Bring them in.
Ride that motherfucker in.
What
with
the
a
hell?
tent on the back of him.
There's a contest for the best dressed cowboy and best dressed cowgirl as well.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. Fringy,
yeah,
turquoisey,
okay.
lots of silver. Is all I can imagine. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like fancy cowboy.
Yeah. Do you want them dressed like 1940s
That's what I
cowboys?
mean. Do you want like a 40s movie? You want the Three Amigos cowboy,
Right.
or are we talking about like a real guy who actually does work on the fucking range?
Want a
here?
ranch hand or fucking
or Martin Short fighting El Guapo? Which one would you prefer? Musical performances will be given by Lil A.
Yep.
Okay. TJ Eubanks.
Yep.
It's
They always go by initials. It's
that's
so
the
weird.
newlywed game host. That's his kid there.
Eubanks.
Bob
Eubanks.
Bob
That's
Eubanks.
him. Yeah.
Faya Flame, and Faya is Fyah.
Oh,
Faya Flame, as opposed to any other kind of flame.
Right.
Jones.
That's the person.
Jones.
Yeah.
Is their, it's all. And others.
I mean, all these people are vague as fuck. You might as well just make the
That's
rest
all.
vague.
The auto show portion of the festival will feature DJ Baby Boy, and babies with an I and B-O-I is boy.
Yeah.
DJ Baby Boy. They said it's the first time they've hosted the event in Wiggins, but they've hosted it all over the place. It's $25 to get in,
Jeez.
which is steep down there.
I guess all those people require fees, huh? They're not doing it for free.
You can't. You mean TJ Eubanks won't show up unless he's.
I don't work for free.
All of his riders' needs are met. Like, what are we talking about? DJ Baby Boy doesn't do shit for free, buddy.
Oh boy!
And there's also the Stone County Fair, which features a horse show, a queen contest, a goat, lamb, and hog show. It's not fair if the lambs have to compete against the hogs. That's not right.
Goat, lamb, and hog. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said ham.
A talent show.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll be ham.
Yeah.
A talent show. They all have talent shows.
I hope there's just some rude redneck of Simon Cowell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's got to be one, right?
I doubt it. Like that's good.
Everybody's just good.
That's fine.
That'll do. Well, next.
Nick, there's a dessert contest.
Sure.
Obviously. That fits in here. And then live entertainment, the Lincoln Outfit, which I think would be an unpopular band down here. The Lincoln Outfit?
Generally not real popular.
That's called the Union Army. That's the Lincoln Outfit.
That's called the people that made us do this work ourselves. Fuck them.
Fuck that shit. So there's also rides and midway shit and everything. That said, let's talk about some murder here.
Here we go.
Okay. Let's start out with a young man.
Yep.
All right. Terrell and Tyrion Johnson.
Terrell?
Terrell is his first name, but one R, two L's. Which is an odd spelling.
Nice, yeah.
And his middle name is Anterion. Anterion. Anterion, which sounds like a space warrior. Anterion from the planet Glaxico. Like, what the fuck is that?
Wow.
It sounds like a transformer.
Anterion. I saw a name, Clee Anthony, and it looks like Cleanthony.
Oh, that's not good. Yeah,
that's so bad.
Yeah, you need an apostrophe in there, like Debrickashaw. You got to Debrickashaw that bad boy.
Cleanthony.
No. So Terrell Anterion Johnson. He's born in 1989. Old Anterion here. Yes. Now he is born into a very good family. He's the only child of a very close and good family here.
Okay.
His parents aren't married, and they never will get married.
Oh.
But his father is a very well-known Baptist reverend named the Reverend Rob Harris.
Is that right?
Which I wonder how much of his congregation knows about his wayward children. Yeah. And his mother is Sherry Johnson.
Okay.
So there's Reverend Bob Harris is the father. He takes the mother's name, Sherry Johnson, here.
Okay.
And but they're both, she works in schools. He's a preacher. They're very well respected. She's from a very close-knit family. She lives on Johnson Road.
Really?
And like most of the people who live on the street are related to her.
Okay. And it might be a family name of that.
It is.
Huh?
No, it is.
It's really.
Because all of them, there's like 8 different houses on there that are Johnson. So it's their
history down here.
That's it. So they had their son when they were very young as well. I think Sherry was 22 when she had him.
Okay.
And but they were never married.
Yeah.
Now, Terrell, as a young man, he served in the U.S. Army.
Oh.
He was in the U.S. Army. He attended community college for a while.
Okay.
But he had some problems. He just can't ever get it together. And we'll find out he's got some mental issues, and that's the main issue here. He holds a lot of like temp labor jobs, some landscaping and things like that.
Military?
After the military, after trying to go to college. He can't like hold down a real, a 9-to-5 basically.
Yeah. What year are we catching up with him?
Well, after college would be 2008.
Wow.
I mean, or after Army, 2009, 10, around there.
Yeah.
So he's attending community college. So, I mean, this isn't like way back in the day. This guy's on fucking Facebook. You know what I mean? Not Instagram quite yet, but he'll get there.
So he could be on Twitter. It's possible.
And then next year.
Next year?
I think. Was it 2011 or 9?
2008 was when it really started picking up. Yeah.
So he does all that, never really steadily employed as an adult, though. Never doesn't have the same job for a year where he goes to work and comes home. And
it is tough when you don't have a contract to do it.
Yeah, he can't really do that. So now he received, from what the Army said, substantial psychiatric and psychological treatment in the past from multiple things, a psychotic disorder, schizophrenia spectrum,
what happened?
And chronic delusional disorder.
Yeah.
If you put all 3 of those together,
that's a man seeing shit and lashing out.
If someone's schizophrenic who's seeing shit and then they're psychotic also, that is a fucking scary combination. So history of hospitalizations, has violent disputes with random people, family members. No one knows what the hell's wrong with him other than those 3 things. And and he's not real receptive to treatment either. Wow. He's so kind of out there. 2015 Wow, he has a banner year in 2015, we'll say. He's arrested 3 different times. Yeah. And the worst thing he does, he's never even gets charged for, which is wild.
Really?
He's arrested 3 times, multiple charges, including domestic violence, assault, resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, marijuana possession. His mother called the cops for help with him because she didn't know what to do with him anymore. And he assaulted a police officer in one scene. He's a mess. The first time the officers are called, this is called to the house. His mom calls them out. He's living alone. It's those 2 living at home. It's her only child, too. So he got mad, Terrell did, when his mother told him to, what do you think it was?
Clean up.
Turn off the TV.
Is that right?
When's the last time you got mad because your mom told you to turn off the TV when you were 5?
I mean,
the Smurfs are on? Like, you know.
Certainly too young to do anything about it.
Yeah, this man is, in his late 20s.
Yeah.
So he freaked out. He balled his hands into fists like a child and said, "What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How are you going to make me do it?" Mm-hmm. So his mother, fearful he was going to have a fucking meltdown, called the deputies, the sheriff's deputies, to try to calm him down. And he didn't get calm. He actually got more agitated about the whole thing, fought with the deputies, and they had to tase him multiple times in his own mother's living room to try to calm him down. Like, a lot. They had like 4 or 5 times they had to tase him. So once he was shocked, they handcuffed him, took him to jail.
Yeah.
4 days later.
He's out.
He's out by then, yeah. Mm-hmm. They let him out. He's feeling much better now. And 4 days later, they had to come back to the house because Sherry reported that she and her son were talking in the kitchen, and he grew belligerent, in her words. Her son picked her up and threw her a distance of 7 to 8 feet out of the back door and into the yard, injuring her right arm.
Threw her out the door.
Picked her up and tossed her out the door. He's a big guy, too. He's not a small guy. He's like an athletic guy. He looks strong.
He bounced her.
He took her ass and said, "Out the door, Ma," and she flew through the goddamn air.
We won't have any of your shit in this establishment today.
She called deputies for help and then fled next door to her mother's house. Because Grandma lives next door here. Yeah. So they show up, and it's just him alone when they get there, Terrell alone. He fought with the deputies. They try to handcuff him. He's taking swings at him. He's fighting them. So they had to tase him 4 times on this occasion. So he's been tased like almost 10 times in 4 days.
That's a lot.
Can't be good for your heart and other things, I would imagine.
Those things, like, they instantly turn something in your blood into sugar. It does something chemically.
It's not good.
It's not good at all.
It's not good for you. No,
it's like it raises your blood sugar or something. It does something to your blood that when your muscles contract, it does that.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, it's a I know what you're talking about, too. There's a protein in it that it messes with or something.
Yeah, it does something to your blood. It's not healthy.
It's not good for you.
Not for 4 fucking shocks and 4 to 8, 7, 8,
multiple days. A lot. Yeah, it's like 8 to 10 over the course of 4 days.
That's too much.
These 4 stunnings, he's so agitated this time, that doesn't even do it.
Really?
He's still fighting with them.
Oh, boy.
So they have to beat him with a baton after stunning him 4 times to get him into custody. By the way, these cops are not against him. One of the cops is is a cousin of them and knows them well and used to be this guy's mentor. They're not like they're on his side.
They're not here just to beat up a
They
kid.
know the family.
Yeah.
Like all these, it's a small area. All the cops, one of their relatives is a sheriff's deputy too. So they all, not just that guy, another guy. So they all.
Somebody on scene is crying because they don't want to do this.
They know who. Like they're not just like, oh, let's go take a guy down. They know this guy. So they're like, they don't want. Please, Terrell, don't make us beat the shit out of you anymore.
Stop making us do this.
When he's kicking them, punching them, throwing shit at them.
This hurts you more than it hurts me.
Fuck. So they had to take him to jail again.
Yeah.
May 2015. Okay.
Yeah.
There was a complaint of someone stealing gas from a gas station.
Yeah.
Pumped the gas in and drove away. Didn't pay for it. All right.
That's a fascinating thing that's still available.
It's very rare that's still available.
I can't believe you can.
There's some small towns though that are like that. They don't have pay first. You can gas up first, then go pay for it.
They don't have a way to lock the gas pump.
Crazy.
Wow.
No, they just have. It's
just
like
open.
We trust you.
Yeah. The power's on.
I may not trust you in the big city, but here we trust you. So they try to pull him over because it's his vehicle that they describe. He won't pull over.
Nope,
he won't pull over. They finally get him to pull over at a gas station another gas station. He is told to stay out of his vehicle and leave the air and not leave the area. Stay right there. And of course he didn't. He got back in the car, took off again. He then takes off and ends up driving the car, leading them on a chase to a house out in the county.
Sure.
I don't even know whose house it is. Ends up in the house and has a standoff with the cops. He gets in the house before he locks it up and has a big standoff with the cops. Eventually, he surrenders, mainly because he had to be treated at the hospital for shitloads of self-inflicted knife wounds that he was doing.
He's cutting himself.
He's cutting and stabbing himself while he was in there.
Wow.
So eventually he gave up, and he's like, I guess I got to go to the hospital. I'm all fucked up.
There's no good outcome for this.
No.
This is fucked up.
He needs medication, would be a...
Inpatient.
Inpatient, medication. He needs all the Asians here. Asians and everything else.
He can't operate any vehicles or...
No.
Or jobs, obviously.
That's what I mean. You can't give this guy power tools.
That's not a functioning member of society. We need to take care of him.
So June 29, 2015, he's in the Stone County Correctional Facility.
Yeah, of course he is.
It's rough. Yeah. So there he encounters Jaron Stubbs, who's an inmate who's there for methamphetamine distribution.
Fantastic.
Very nice guy here. He's a federal pretrial detainee housed in this place. And I guess here comes Terrell. They got in an argument, and we'll talk about why in a moment here. But during the attack, Terrell attacks this man and beats him severely. And this guy said he didn't know that Terrell was going to attack him.
Yeah.
He said, in fact, before the attack, the only interactions they ever had one-on-one was this guy a couple weeks before that telling Johnson that Johnson couldn't take food belonging to other inmates in the cafeteria. He was just taking food off people's plates.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you can't do that, man.
I wouldn't tell him.
He'll
learn.
Well, someone's going to fucking stab him.
I'm not teaching him.
What Terrell is considered in prison, what would be called as a bug. That's what they call these guys. They call the crazy ones that aren't in like a mental unit. They call them bugs.
Yeah.
Everybody avoids them.
Yeah. They
sit by themselves in the cafeteria, usually maybe 3-4 at a time. They'll sit together, and that's the bug table, they'll call it. Like, the bugs know everybody knows not to fuck with them. They're fucking mentally ill.
They're out of control.
And you don't tell them not to do shit or do shit.
There's no reasoning with them.
No, and that's what it is. You have to beat them to death if you want. It's easier just to avoid them. Yeah. So most of the inmates, they just avoid the bugs. That's what they do. And that's what Terrell is. He's a bug.
Okay.
And this guy decided to try to, I guess, I don't know, and who knows how he told him. We don't know if he's like, hey, man, just from me to you, people are going to get pissed off. Or he was like, hey, motherfucker, don't take shit off people's plates. Yeah. Either way, there was no problem at that moment.
Okay.
It happened a couple weeks later. So Stubbs, the Jaron Stubbs here, he was only resided in the same zone as Terrell, J zone, for a 2-month period.
Okay.
And so apparently he said that Johnson not only attacked him, attacked several other people around him. He just started going nuts.
All at the same time?
All at the same time. But he really, really attacked Stubbs.
His edge
He beat him severely and bit his nose off his face.
Jesus.
And bit his lips off.
Wow.
He bit his nose to the point where when they took him to the hospital, it was sitting in a cup of ice next to him. He bit his nose
clean off
his body and spit it on the floor.
Wow.
Then bit the man's lips off. Have you ever heard of that?
I've seen it, not by a person, but I've seen a lip get torn off.
That is wild.
It's fucked up.
I've never heard of 2 men fighting and one man biting the other man's lips off. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, Tyson stopped at the ear.
It was a nibble. He didn't go in for a whole nose.
Just a taste. He took his whole nose.
Whole nose off. So this guy will end up suing the government, the federal government, because it's a federal prison, alleging that Terrell was only in general population because his cousin, Captain Ray Boggs, is a local sheriff's deputy.
Really?
And that's the thing here. We're dealing with a small town, and the cops know him, and rather than him being in isolation, which
should be
a lot of times where they put these people so they can keep their medicine and all that kind of shit, they just put him in Gen Pop because that's where he wanted to be.
Who gives a fuck what he wants?
They wanted to help him out. So after the attack, Stubbs was brought to the prison infirmary, but his injuries were deemed sufficiently serious that they couldn't fix them there, so he was sent to the Forest General Hospital. The hospital staff advised prison officials that he'd receive better care at another facility.
Yeah.
We can't really do this.
We can't do plastic surgery here.
No, well, that was just at the hospital.
Yeah.
And then so they moved him again to the Merritt Health Center. Mm-hmm. So he's been moved all the way around here.
With his nose on ice.
Oh, he received subsequent plastic surgeries on his mouth and nose. Yeah. However, after a surgery on October 15, 2018, they stopped giving him treatment. And he said he still has trouble breathing through his nose. Yeah. He's all fucked up, and he wants more medical attention. Yeah. The complaint said once they put the nose back on, they were like, that's good enough.
It's on. What do you want?
So they said that he was not given pain medication while being transported, despite him, having his nose and lips bitten off and bleeding profusely from the face.
And then you put my upper lip on the bottom and the bottom on the top. What are you doing?
What are you doing? I look super weird now. So he said that jail officials failed to protect him from assault, violating his 8th and 14th Amendment rights. According to the lawsuit, they unlawfully mixed Johnson, who was a county inmate, in with federal pretrial detainees.
Okay.
The lawsuit also alleges that Johnson was unstable, mentally ill, and posed a threat to other inmates, and claims that Stubbs should have been placed in an isolated cell, but because of his relation to Captain Boggs, he was moved around the jail, and the jail kept him in the general population.
Wow.
It alleges that employees at the jail failed to keep Stubbs safe and were untrained to handle the assault. Very few people are trained to handle a nose that's off your face.
Most people are ill-prepared to
put lips back on a person's face.
To stop a person that does that from doing it. Yeah.
Well, that's not normal behavior.
Where would you start?
Even in prison, that's like, holy shit.
What are you doing, man?
If that's aberrant behavior for prison, you're fucking nuts.
You didn't file down a toothbrush, you're just biting faces?
Man, so Stubbs alleges that the jail staff were aware of the mental illness of Johnson and should have kept him in an isolated cell for disciplinary problems also. It suggests that Johnson was allowed to remain in the general population, posing a threat to other inmates. It complains that the complaint says that the Federal Bureau of Prisons has failed to pay for required plastic surgery, leaving Johnson deformed and suffering from PTSD whenever he views his face in the mirror.
Yeah, or when I go to the fucking dentist. Seeing a tooth, anything.
Well, they're like, open up, and he's like, it's already done, pal.
Yeah. I can't close.
Got you covered. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely. These people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. Yeah. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well. Right. And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Stubbs also claimed jail officials said he told jail officials he would like to press criminal charges against Johnson, though that has not been notified of the state of the prosecution. They never charged him with this, by the way. This is what I mean. He almost killed a man by eating his face,
right?
And they didn't even charge him with shit. They
At
just
minimum,
let him go.
It's assault, but I mean, it's battery,
it's assault, battery, attempted murder.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of shit that it could be.
Golly.
So he wants $1 million as well as $400,000 in compensatory damages.
I think he deserves way more.
I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, in 2016, because that's what Johnson was being held in jail awaiting trial and stuff. So in 2016, he pleads guilty to all of his other shit, not the attacking the inmate. His sentence is 5 years in prison.
Okay.
But it's suspended.
What?
They say, no. We need him on the streets. He's a valuable member of society, this Terrell Johnson.
Such a great lawyer.
So they suspend the 5-year sentence and instead give him 3 years of probation. Not even 5 years.
Oh,
like the sentence, 3 years of probation.
Okay.
Now, his probation officer said that she tried to get him sent to prison, but the state never followed her recommendations.
Yeah.
She constantly tried to get him put away.
She's violating them always.
Yep.
Yeah.
In 2017, in March, his probation was revoked.
Okay.
And he was ordered to attend and successfully completed an inpatient drug and alcohol treatment program at the VA hospital.
Okay, so he tested dirty.
Yeah, he's been. I mean, that's the other thing too. He likes drugs and booze. And
Which drugs? He's doing meth?
Don't know when your brain. Well, you know he likes weed.
Yeah,
you know that much, but
fine.
I don't know if he's.
That seems like
maybe that'll
something
calm him
mellow
down a
out.
little bit. Yeah, you don't eat people's faces on weed.
No,
that's not,
I mean I've heard of the munchies.
That's Jesus, Jimmy.
That's a bit far, right?
Thanks, Uncle Jimmy. Good God. How old are you? That was the oldest man joke I've ever heard
That's
in my
the
life.
first thing I thought of. Well, I mean, you eat when you're high.
Remember third one. First one's a work joke. Second one's bad. Third one's the right one.
That's true.
That's a comedian's credo, everybody. That's what we say in our heads.
You
Not
get
that.
a Snickers, man.
Yes. I love it, though. Maybe that's what it was. This is real munchy out of candy.
The guy's got to have, it's got to be something hard drugs, though.
Yeah,
he's got to be doing something else.
Also, I think if your brain chemistry is that fucked up, where you have schizophrenic shit, delusional disorders, I think any messing with it.
Yeah, it's
alcohol.
It's got to be teetering.
Weed, yeah. It could push it here, it could push it there.
We're like if you got like a base that's got like a square, his top of that square is super narrow.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And it's ready to just, either side, it's
he's
no
the
good.
leaning tower of Terrell right now. He's about to fucking fall at any moment. So,
oh boy.
She said that he was kicked out of the VA program after that, though. Yeah. And she said the probation officer said she recognized the violent tendencies of Terrell and wanted him incarcerated, but the state wouldn't follow her recommendation.
Sure.
She said, when I was his PO, I tried everything in my power to get him sent to prison.
She didn't want to deal with him.
Wow. Yeah, I can't deal with this guy.
You almost want to fault her for being lazy, for not doing her job to take care of somebody. But how fucking crazy do you got to be to make a parole officer go, this is crazy.
This isn't
what
what
I do.
Away.
Yeah.
But also, how many people have a parole officer that really wants to put them in prison and can't get them put in prison?
That's
Usually
crazy.
a parole officer.
That's the end-all be-all. Yeah.
Send you right back there. She said, tried to do everything in her power, and Jackson would not allow that. I mean, they said they called me from Jackson, which is the capital.
Right.
They called me from Jackson asking, quote, why I was being so hard on him. He ate a man's face. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think you got to keep that guy in line.
And asking me why I wouldn't allow him to go to the VA for treatment. Just send him in for treatment. He's fine.
Yeah, but
he's got connections.
Yeah.
His family has connections is the problem.
Right.
And it's not helping this guy. He needs help. He doesn't need
I wonder what did this.
So she said that he'd already been kicked out of the VA, but given no other option by a higher-ups in Jackson, had sent him there again.
Wow.
Try that again. She said she told Jackson that they didn't know the type of person that she was dealing with. You don't know this fucking guy.
Right.
I get whatever, somebody who's telling you something, you read a report.
Right.
This motherfucker is crazy.
Dangerous.
I said, what do you do for a living? He said, Captain Crunch. That doesn't make sense. I don't know what to do. I can't deal with this guy.
Yeah, and I've read his report, and every time he tells me he's hungry, I get very scared.
I get scared, exactly. Start covering my face up. Yeah, I wear a ski mask for every visit.
Or a medieval helmet.
No shit. A fucking huge one. She said, but they didn't listen, and I had to recommend to the judge that he be given another chance at the VA, where he got kicked out again.
Just they can't do it. They're not prepared and qualified to deal with it.
And this is in a rehab center where people sometimes have some problems, but he has mental illnesses that are not what they deal with.
He lives in Wiggins?
He lives in Wiggins on Johnson Street with his mom.
This town is incapable of caring for him.
They can't. No, and it's even worse because this town, he has too many connections, so he keeps getting soft landings.
God damn.
I mean, not that he needs punishment, but he needs, I don't know, he might, but he needs help at some point.
Certainly.
He needs something.
Guidance.
He can't just go out and be a person.
No.
He needs mental health guidance. He needs a lot of shit going on here.
Look, there are people in the world. Life is bowling. Some people need the fucking gutter covers. Some people need the bumpers, and he needs them.
He needs them bad.
Yeah.
And also, if you could put like 20 pins out there for him, make sure he can get a lot of them to really set it up, make him feel good, you know?
Minimum 12, 15.
12, 15, yeah.
Let's get an extra row.
And if he gets
there.
10, we'll call it a strike. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to get them all. We'll just give him extra chance to hit the pins. So in May 2017, he's sentenced to attendance and completion of a long-term drug and alcohol treatment program with the Mississippi Department of Corrections.
Yeah.
So that's what he gets sentenced to then. Now, by April of 2018, the court ruled, so this is almost a year he's in there.
Yeah.
The court ruled that Johnson had successfully completed the DOC's drug and alcohol treatment program, and his probation was increased by 2 years, and he was released from incarceration. That was the deal. Okay. You can get out, but you have to
get this program done.
You have to be on probation. We have to be able to keep an eye on you.
Yeah,
I would say
forever. Okay.
So, for all time, in a room. Preferably with cameras in it all the time. Padded. A lot of stuff here. Yeah. So he's going to get out and move in with his mom again, with Sherry Johnson, because he has nowhere else to go.
Right.
So Sherry Johnson here, she's born in 1967. So she's 51 at this point, in 2018. Yeah. She comes from a very tight-knit family, like we said. Her mother, her sister, 2 of her brothers all live in different houses near her on Johnson Road.
Wild.
So this is how it goes. Yeah. Johnson comes from the type of family that follows, quote, this is from Boggs, by the way, the captain, police captain and relative, said that they're the type of family that follows what he calls, quote, the old ways, I don't like that, of sitting outside on Sunday afternoon and just talking.
Okay. So
old-timey shit. Yeah. A family member grills out a lot, and all the families get together to eat on the street.
Okay. So Southern barbecue day.
Somebody, and somebody's getting together on that street and doing everything.
After church.
Oh, absolutely. They're going to church for sure. We know that because Sherry's big into church. She is at this point, she's a guidance counselor at Hattiesburg High School. That's what she does for a living.
Oh, really?
Sherry, yeah. Sherry had been a counselor. Well, her son could use some guidance counseling.
No shit.
So she'd been working as a counselor since 2014. Before that, she worked in the Harrison County School District from 2007 to 2014. And that's what they said. Now, she worked at North Gulfport Middle School, part of the county school district, from 2010 to 2014. Also worked at a school in Mobile. Okay. Now, Darrell L. Williams and his wife Catherine were Sherry's next door neighbors on the other side. Mom on one side, them on the other. This is when they lived in Mobile. They were their neighbors. And this is through Terrell Johnson's middle school years. They lived in Mobile. Yeah. So this guy said his wife and Sherry Johnson still remain close friends and stay in touch. So they're nice people. Yeah. Terrell was around the same age as this guy's son. Okay. And they played football together. They had sleepovers together. Sure. They were, that's neighborhood pals. Yeah, 2 12-year-olds live next door to each other. You like football? Yeah. I like football. We're best friends now.
Do you have one? Let's throw it. Fuck.
Let's be Milhouse and Bart. Like, we have nothing in common, but here we are. So they did all of that. They had sleepovers. Williams said we were always at their house or they were always at our house. And then the Johnsons moved to Stone County and moved to Wiggins. And that's when Terrell joined the military after high school and all that kind of thing. Everybody said over the years, Sherry Johnson is always right there in her son's corner, trying to help him always, trying to get him treatment, trying to help him, taking him in. She never says, "You're too much, you can't come to my house." Never. Okay. All her friends says she loves him unconditionally, and she knows he's got problems, and she's known for a long time. And they thought like the army would help him out. But if you're schizophrenic, the army isn't going to help you with that.
You've got 3 different mental health challenges there. That ain't easy.
A lot of problems. So the police had visited her home numerous occasions, as we know. Now, June 3rd, 2018, Sherry goes to church that day. Nice. Of course, it's a Sunday. And she even made plans with her friend after they talked after church that later in the day they were going to get together to go over some more Bible stuff. They didn't get enough church that day.
What?
Not enough church. They're like, let's go over a couple things on this.
I don't really understand, Joe, but let's talk about it.
Let's find out about him tonight. Yeah. What do you say on a nice Sunday night deal? But she said that night she never heard from Sherry.
Oh.
She called Sherry, nobody answered.
She figured it out on her own.
What the hell? I guess we're not going to find out the mysteries of the Bible tonight. No one's figured it out in thousands of years, and I guess it's not going to be us either. Okay. So this day, she had talked to a couple people on the phone, not this lady, but a couple other people, relatives and such, and said that Terrell's having a bad day. It's not great. She said over the phone to 2 different people that he was, quote, psychotic today and has lost his fucking mind without the fucking. Yeah. Because, she was into Jesus and shit. So,
but he's lost it today.
He's lost it today. So no one hears from Sherry the 3rd, the rest of the day on the 3rd. No one hears from her on the 4th. No one hears from her on June 5th.
Oh, boy.
So June 6th, 2018, Sherry's brother said this is bullshit. He had called a bunch of times. He went over to the house to say, where the fuck is my sister? And Terrell had said that she went on a cruise with her friends.
Oh.
She didn't tell anybody.
And nobody else knew about this.
No, it's one of those, people do this a lot, the last-minute cruises. You're sitting around and you're like, I'm going on a cruise tonight, and you just leave. That happens people don't plan that shit for months in advance and buy special clothes. And
throw a windbreaker in a suitcase and off you go. I'll buy the rest on the ship.
She's already got tons of sundresses. Everything's fine.
I'll bet you they got a mall on that ship.
They'll buy it all. So they didn't believe him, obviously, and they said, well, let us come in the house. And he said, no, you can't come in.
Stay out.
They were like, okay, that's not going to work. So the brother, Terrell's uncle, calls law enforcement because he said he wants a welfare check because Terrell won't let him in the fucking house. Right. And they don't know, and they know she's not on a cruise because she would kind of probably tell you ahead of time.
Some big information.
Yeah, I'm going to take off work. It's a big thing.
I need a ride down to the Gulf Coast.
I need a ride to the ocean, things like that. So the sheriff's department, Stone County, first went to the Johnson home on June 6th to do the welfare check. Yeah. And Captain Boggs arrives. That is the cousin. Yep. He's the guy there. Knows them all his life and everything. And so they arrive, and Terrell's on the porch when they arrive. Yeah. And he walks down into the driveway to meet them, greet them. And they say, hey, we're just your uncle called looking for your mom, and couldn't find her, and you wouldn't let him in, and just what's up. And he said, I told him already. Same thing I'm gonna tell you guys. Her friend picked her up, and they were going on a cruise.
They jumped on a carnival.
That's it. I don't know, man. Last minute cruise invitation. It happens. So they said, okay, well, that makes sense. I mean, why not? It's good to get away. Yeah. But just to reassure your uncle and the rest of your family, who's kind of, how people get.
They get nuts.
Just let us go take a little looky-loo.
We'll do a once around.
Be gone in 5 minutes. You go back to what you're doing, and we'll go fine. And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. Come on in.
Okay.
So they came on in. I guess just didn't want to take shit from his uncle.
Yeah.
But he's okay with his cousin Boggs here. So
interesting.
They walk around. Everything in the house seems normal. Yeah. They get to Sherry's bedroom, and her door's locked.
Oh.
They're like, that's interesting.
Why would she lock this?
Why would you lock this? Now, during this, Johnson's walking around. He's got shorts on, no shirt, and he's just kind of pacing around in circles. Yeah. They said, this door's locked. How do we'll get that? And he said, I don't know. She locked it before she left town, man. When she leaves, she locks the door, so I can't get in there.
There you go.
So they're like, okay, yeah. They said, she's on a cruise, though. And they were like, okay, yeah, but we have to check all the rooms. It's just part of procedure. Yeah. We have to check it off the box. There's a form.
What if we just kick it?
There's a form.
Yeah.
So they end up figuring out how to open the door. And Jesus Christ, when Captain Ray Boggs opens the door here, he said, quote, when I entered the bedroom, I immediately noticed blood everywhere.
Really?
The walls, the bed, the floor, the ceiling were covered in blood. Butcher scene in there. I mean, fucking covered in blood, like someone exploded in there.
Look, when I'm going to rush out the door, sometimes
Dude,
I throw a little behind.
You know what, too? You cut yourself and you spray it. They found everything. Ceiling, walls, floors. It's just smeared.
What?
It's smeared. It's spattered. It's everything.
What's your excuse, man?
They also find a bloody butter knife and also a serrated knife nearby that doesn't appear to be bloody except for some spatter, but the butter knife looks like it's covered in blood.
What?
Yes. So they're like, okay, something bad happened in here.
Yeah.
The Boggs said, quote, I must have been to 100 crime scenes in my career, but never one like this. It was heinous.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, but she's not in there, by the way. There's no
body,
Sherry.
No Sherry.
Just blood everywhere. They're like, listen.
What happened?
You know that room ain't right, bro.
Yeah.
Like, this is fucked up. Where is your mom? She's on a cruise. No, she's not without her blood. She's not.
Yeah,
not without a fucking.
What'd she take? Because she didn't take this.
She's a few pints short.
Yeah.
So I don't think she's getting a fucking
She's
cruise.
low. She's woozy.
She's
on
low,
that flight. It's
two of those tropical drinks. She's going to fall over, man. It's not going to be good.
She's not going to have to worry about boat sickness.
No.
She's already dizzy.
So finally he said, she's in the backyard.
Oh.
And they go, okay.
Yeah.
And they walk out the back door. And they find Sherry.
She's just right there.
Her body is laying by a tree. It's just strewn over by a tree in the corner of the yard. Problem is, there's no head on the body.
What?
It's a headless body laying there. So they're like, hey, head.
A little more help.
A little help.
Yeah.
They end up finding her head on the other side of a fence.
He threw it.
About 12 to 15 feet from the body.
He just took it off and
He
threw
took it off, threw it like a grenade.
Wow.
Don't need that.
What year is this?
2018.
This is crazy.
This is fucking crazy. So it's insane. So Boggs said that law enforcement was attempting to be respectful while they talked about it, but they said, Boggs said, it's already out there, so I can tell you, her head was detached from her body, but out of respect to the family, I'm not going to go into that.
That's my cousin.
It's my cousin. He said, this is by far the worst thing I've seen in law enforcement. Part of it is knowing the family and knowing the suspect.
How did he think? You know what?
That no one he could just hang out in the house with
those 3 pieces of mental illness, man.
Wow.
Jesus.
So they asked him, like, what happened, bro?
Why?
And he said, we got in a fight over credit cards.
Yeah.
She has no head.
Over
you didn't
credit
punch her
cards.
in the mouth or anything. Right. She has no head. You could have just bit her nose off like the other guy.
He didn't even bite her lips.
Leave the rest of her head alone.
Took the whole head.
So a fight ensued, and they fought. It looks like that Sherry fought back, too.
Yeah.
They fought, and he said he choked her until she stopped moving. Then, she wasn't dead.
Yeah.
She was unconscious. He choked her unconscious, okay? After choking her, he saw that on her, this was in her bedroom, on her nightstand, there was a butter knife.
Yep.
So he grabbed the butter knife, used the butter knife and his, quote, hands and teeth to take her head off.
He bit her head off.
He chewed through her
spine?
fucking tendons and spinal. A butter knife isn't getting through that shit. He chewed his mother's head off.
And then wiggled it until it came free. What in the shit?
And his hands just tearing shit apart.
How long ago?
3 days ago. He did this on the 3rd.
Good Christ.
This happened on the 3rd. And he just left her outside. They said, why'd you take her out of her room if that happened in her room? And he said, I didn't want it to stink up the house. I like my house to smell good.
The answers are so crazy. They get worse and worse.
This is the craziest person we've ever talked about,
How do you ask any more questions?
Yeah. So he told them that, he just didn't want to stink. He didn't want to stink up the house, man.
It's going to ruin the house. It gets in the carpet. There's no resale.
Can't do that. Yeah. And then what am I going to do when I want to resell this bad boy?
Sometimes paint doesn't even fix it.
So Sherry had stab and cut wounds to her neck and head area, but there's no other visible injuries to the rest of her body.
Just a butter knife.
Choked her out, used his hands, teeth, and a butter knife to decapitate a person.
Unbelievable.
I'm not going to get too gross here, but think about there's a corpse.
Amount, yeah.
Think about if someone gave you a butter knife and said, get that person's head off.
Yeah.
You'd go, what?
That ain't going to do
How
it.
the fuck am I going to do that?
Yeah.
And they go, use your hands and teeth. How crazy would you have to be to go, oh, yeah, duh, thanks, sorry, that's a good idea. I didn't even think about that. That makes much more sense. So, yeah, that is crazy. So Boggs said he was told the press he was close to Johnson's. He even was a mentor to Terrell years ago, tried to help him out. He said Sherry was a really good lady, a really good mother, and really loved her family. He said the family's in disbelief. So are the people, many people around the area who knew Sherry. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options. Nice. It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Experience furniture shopping the way it's meant to be at Mathis Home, your ultimate furniture superstore. From sofas to dining sets, from modern to classic styles, they have everything you're searching for. With over 230,000 items to choose from, you're sure to find exactly what you're looking for at a price you'll love. Plus, everything is in stock and ready for fast, free delivery right to your door. So you don't have to wait. And if you're looking to really transform your space, take advantage of our complimentary interior design services. Our expert designers are ready to help with any project, whether big or small. And right now, check out the Lazy Boy BOGO event at Mathis Home, happening now through March 1st, 2025. Buy one Lazy Boy recliner and get another one absolutely free. Don't miss this limited time offer. Only at Mathis Home, your ultimate furniture superstore.
And he said also it has a wide impact on the community because the family's so well known in such a small community. Yeah. He said this is a family who stays together and looks out for one another. He's talking about his own family, by the way,
right?
Which is amazing. They'd be out there having cookouts and gatherings after church each Sunday. People know and love this family, and this has impacted a lot of not only her family, but the community, her friends, and the students she had counseled in her career, too. Yeah. Miss Johnson won't be in today because her head is on the other side of a fence.
And it's the most uneven, you know what I mean? the recklessness of that decapitation is crazy.
There's no attempt to dismount.
Nothing's clean. It's just torn.
It's torn chunks.
Things are dangling.
Jagged would be a good way to put it.
It's a Oh my God.
And he didn't try to get away with it.
No.
He locked the door through her body in the back. He didn't even cover it up with a tarp. I mean,
he just thought they'd look in the house and leave.
I don't think he thought that far.
I don't think he cared.
I don't think he thought. I really don't.
No.
I don't know if he's capable of.
No, because nobody locks a door and goes, they won't want to look in there.
Done.
Out of sight, out of mind?
Yeah,
no, man.
No. So the autopsy says she died from blunt force trauma, and that her body exhibited evidence of numerous previous assaults as well.
He beat the shit out of his mom.
He's been beating the shit out of his mom. While the head trauma would have caused her death, they weren't able to determine if she was dead when her head was removed, but he said she was unconscious.
Yeah,
so I'm going to go with him.
Yeah.
Because it would be better for him to say she was dead. And he goes, I don't know, she was just unconscious. I started cutting her head off.
She couldn't stop it.
Wow. So he cut a live person's head off.
That's unbelievable.
That's
unbelievable.
With a butter knife in his teeth.
Yeah. And probably, if you wait till after somebody's dead for a while, a lot of that blood is not, it's not,
it doesn't have the force behind it.
Right. It's still got a pump.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's why it's everywhere.
It's still popping.
Yep,
God
it's everywhere.
Damn.
So they collected 2 knives, multiple blood stains, and a comforter, which was located near the body. It was just out in the yard. It was too bloody, so he threw that out, too. It was going to stink.
God.
The jury, they have, for the jury later on, they have DNA evidence tying him to the murders. Not that you need it.
He got his words.
I mean, you got his words, and he's the only guy in the house. And,
it's pretty easy, yeah.
So, he confesses on an audio tape to killing his mother. He said he and his mother got into an argument over credit cards. He said he tried to walk away, but she kept at him.
Yeah.
Tried to get away from her. She kept breaking my fucking chops.
You can divorce a wife. You can't do that to your mom.
No. No, you can get your own fucking apartment.
You can do that.
He said it escalated into a fight, and Boggs said he told me that he beat her up real bad. He said he got out of hand. You think? The understatement of the year.
You sunk your teeth into your mom's neck.
I think the understatement of the year is showing up to a headless body that's had its head chewed off and thrown over a fence and going, well, this got out of hand. That's almost sarcastic.
It's almost like what would be said on fucking SVU by Ice-T.
Yeah, this got out of hand. Well, it's like a bad sitcom. Like, that went well. It's one of those. Like, it's a bad fucking sitcom cliche.
God damn it.
That could have gone better.
Why did he say that?
So this guy said, he decapitated her with the butter knife. His words, he used his hands and teeth to decapitate his own mother. His words. Now, while being led into court to do his plea, or the initial appearance, he's being led. They get him out of a police car and they walk him across the street into the court, and there's a shitload of people there, media and stuff.
Trying to see what an absolute monster looks like.
And they're asking him questions. He turns and says, quote, "I plead guilty."
Huh.
And then they said, "Could you explain?" And he said, "You'll have to ask my lawyer." And then he walked inside. Okay, this guy's a party. This guy's a fucking party. So his attorney now, Jim Davis is his attorney. Isn't that the guy who draws Garfield, I believe?
Yeah.
I think it is. Yeah. So his attorney, Jim Davis, taking a week off from Garfield.
Feeding him lasagna.
Yeah, he's feeding Terrell lasagna in court. Said his client has a history of mental health issues and is working to get all of the documents from because some of this shit's from the Army. That's hard to get documents. Right. He said, quote, "This is not a normal homicide."
No?
You think? So I think that it cries out that something is strange here. Yeah, I would say.
I mean, this doesn't happen. Daniel Pearl was put down much more humanely.
Oh my God.
This is crazy.
This is insane. This is nuts. That's what I mean.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, if you shipped him off to some terrorist camp, and they said, "How do you take people's heads off?" and he told them, they'd go, "Oh God,
Jesus,
we're gonna have to send you. You can't work here. I'm sorry. I mean, we're brutal, but you are. That's out of your fucking
too much.
Mind. And nobody wants. Do you want to taste? No one.
Why
wants
would
that.
you do that? You get it in your mouth.
So the lawyer goes on to say, and this is funny. This is the best ellipses of all time. He goes, "The allegation of decapitation is very ... There's a why behind that."
Is there?
You think? And I think trying to determine the why is very important, and that's going to be one of our major things to try and resolve. Yeah, how fucking crazy is this guy? He said that his client was insane when he committed the crime, And prosecutors, though, say he wasn't insane. He was under the influence of drugs, and he knew exactly what he was doing.
What drugs was he on?
Who knows? They don't know. They're just saying it was drugs, not crazy.
Okay.
So his lawyer indicated that the hearing, that it was too early to say whether he'll use an insanity defense for Johnson, if there's ever a time to use an insanity defense.
I mean, this is it, right?
A guy with diagnosed mental illness who did the craziest fucking thing on earth that's ever happened. I would say this is, if ever the fucking stars are going to align to get an insanity defense, this is the case.
Yeah, a mental health guy that documented that chewed through a neck?
Yeah.
Chewed through a larynx. Okay.
Yeah.
Chewed through your mom's larynx.
Mother. It's your mom.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
So he said after the hearing, the lawyer said that he'll take time to acquire Johnson's hospital records. He said, I've handled numerous insanity cases, and he said he'd won one or two, but he said, trust me, jurors don't like them, so you better have a very, very strong case if you go bring that to a jury. Okay. And that's true. Jurors reject that shit no matter how crazy
I think this one's a slam dunk.
Wow. He said the decapitation concerns him the most, though.
Yeah.
He said, I think there's a why behind that, and I think we need to determine it again. So Sherry's friend said this. She said she came to the hearing to support the family.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, a young life gone from such a positive person that had such an impact on kids and our families and our community. We're praying for his family, praying for the community, praying for Hattiesburg High. And I just hope that justice will be served.
Go Mustangs.
Go Wildcats.
Whatever the fuck they are.
Probably the Wildcats. That's
Probably,
what everybody, Or either that or like the Jeff Davises or some fucking Confederate shit. The Stonewall Jacksons. So his dad shows up at court.
Really?
The good Reverend Rob Harris shows up at court.
Now he shows up?
Now he shows up. Where were you?
You're a bit late.
Where were you during the chewing, sir?
Yeah.
And he said he didn't want to comment on the case. He recently retired as the head maintenance man for Stone County, the whole county, and is a Baptist minister there, they're talking about. Now, while they lead our guy out of court here, they're trying to get him to say something. He passes the Sun Herald and the TV cameras, and he turns to them and he says, I done it! And then keeps going.
Oh, boy.
So you put those together. I plead guilty. I done it. So he's saying that.
Talk to my lawyer.
Funny thing is, he might get his mom's insurance money still.
What?
Okay, he could receive $150,000 of her life insurance policy and inherit her estate as well. One of her brothers had been named as the administrator of her estate, which is being probated in Stone County, and the judge will decide how the insurance and estate money should be distributed only after Terrell Johnson's mental competency to stand trial is determined.
Yeah.
They said if he's crazy, he could get it all. If he's not convicted of a violent crime, if it's, not guilty by reason of insanity.
Yeah.
So they said Sherry didn't have a will. Terrell was the only beneficiary listed on the 51-year-old's high school guidance counselor's life insurance policy. Alpha Life Insurance Corp. has deposited the payout from her policy with the court until a rightful beneficiary is established. Money from the sale of her cars and house, which is being repaired, will also be painted, I hope, will be deposited into an estate account as well. They said unless Johnson willfully killed his mother, willfully being the main word, he could, under state law, inherit her estate and be awarded the proceeds of insurance. Insanity, if that ends up happening here, they said his lawyer said that the court records said in court records that Johnson does not object to money being held in trust until the murder is resolved.
Okay.
So it's fine that's good. So it's going to be held in a trust here. In addition to representing Johnson in a criminal case, Davis is also serving as his guardian in the estate case. Because he can't do shit on his own here. So, wow. Said if Johnson's convicted of first-degree murder, he will not collect the money because the charge involves a willful or premeditated killing. Sure. However, an insanity defense or a guilty plea or a conviction or guilty plea to manslaughter means under state law that the killing was not willful and he could collect the money. So even manslaughter. They said, though, the lawyer said, we haven't settled on a defense. We're still in the early stages, but there are a lot of mental health records in this case that would make it a very easy to establish lack of mental capacity case. Yeah. And that could lead to a finding of not guilty or manslaughter. And he said that delusional history dates to his early days in the military. He's had these problems.
Right.
And that was documented by the military.
It's very obvious.
So they have a psychiatrist they put him in front of here. She's a psychiatrist, Sarah DeLand from New Orleans. And part of her report is, regarding his competency to proceed, it's my opinion with reasonable medical certainty that due to his mental illness, Mr. Johnson does not have the ability to perceive or to understand the nature of the proceedings, to communicate rationally with his attorney. Rationally would be the word there, main, to recall relevant facts and to testify in his own defense. His thought disorganization prevents him from being able to testify relevantly or be cross-examined. He cannot focus on the topic, and he has problems with his perception of reality. Yeah. It is my recommendation to the court that Mr. Johnson be found not competent to proceed and be hospitalized for inpatient competency restoration.
So
fix him up till we can try him.
Okay.
Yeah. But this happens. That was in 2019. Nothing happens with all of this. I guess they're going through all the mental shit to find him competent finally till 2024. This year.
Just this year.
August, as a matter of fact.
5 years to get him straight.
Just a couple months ago.
Yeah.
So at trial, they're going to go to trial with this.
Wow.
The judge warned the Johnson family before testimony started they shouldn't gasp or otherwise display their emotions in front of the jury. Yeah. Said this is a very emotional and difficult case and testimony to hear. So if you can't hear it,
get the fuck out.
You got to go. Yeah. So his attorney here, this is Terrell's attorney again, argued his client should be acquitted because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing when he killed his mother. The prosecutors disagree. One prosecutor said the defendant knew what he was doing on this day. When he killed his mother, he knew it. And said they were going to show the jury Terrell's statements to deputies where he confessed to killing his mother. Said the defendant and his mother got into an argument over credit cards. The defendant then admitted to assaulting and choking his mother in her bedroom and killing her. The jury will hear how the defendant described using a knife and his teeth to remove his mother's head from her body. The defense said his state of mind when he committed the murder was what mattered, not how he behaved days later. Told the juror that he has a serious mental condition. Yeah. Fucking 3 of them, as a matter of fact. He said he's clearly delusional in his thought process. The prosecutor then presented one of his uncles, one of his mom's brothers, and he said he called law enforcement for the welfare check. They have a battle of the shrinks. Because the defense psychiatrist said he's out of his fucking mind, and the state psychiatrist said he gets it. We think he understands what's popping off here.
Wow.
Which is pretty remarkable. I don't know.
That's a ballsy thing to say.
I would fucking say so. So
I don't think there's anybody capable of doing what he did
that is even remotely sane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That buys their own groceries.
Unless they were on like a 12-day meth binge.
Yeah.
That'd be I don't think you're very sane after a 12-day meth binge.
No.
You know, no sleep.
You've murked a shitload of brain cells.
Yeah, you're fucking messing everything up. Now the verdict comes in. There's 18 minutes of deliberation, which doesn't seem like a lot.
That's the fastest ever.
That seems like one vote. Yeah. And they go, oh, we're all in agreement? Great. All right, let's get out of here then. Call that guy back in.
Tell him we got it.
Oh, he's taking a piss? All right, we got to wait. Because it was 12 minutes we agreed on it. We got to wait for him to get back from pissing and grabbing a smoke outside the bailiff.
Let him wash his hands.
So after 20 minutes of deliberation, they find him guilty of first-degree murder.
Everything.
I don't think this guy could premeditate a shit, never mind this murder. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I think,
he couldn't premeditate a ham sandwich, this guy.
I think that they're doing the old, how long does it take to premeditate? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If the second he grabbed that
well, then every murder is premeditated then.
But I think that's what they're doing here.
That's wild.
They got a set of premeditation.
There's no planning to this.
No, but the second you pick up a knife, in a way of, you know what? He choked her out. He had time to stop there.
I guess he was still alive. It was
an overt act that
he's just so aggressive.
With intention to kill. He had no way to assume
that's second degree, though.
You think so?
Fuck yeah.
No intention of
an argument that escalated into a murder, second degree. That's not a premeditated crime.
I don't know, but the way he killed her, I could see that if you like slap somebody and they fall down, hit their head.
No, second degree is like
actual murder.
Oh yeah, second degree is has malice is involved in it. Yeah, because that's what takes it from not manslaughter to murder. Is like it's the Sarah Boone case that we just watched.
Yeah.
That case, she got found guilty of second degree murder.
Yeah.
And she fucking zipped a guy up and went away. That was way more premeditated than this.
Yeah.
And they said that it happened, but the way she was talking shit to him and everything, there was malice behind it.
Right.
And she intended him harm. So this first degree, like I said, if this guy is in the middle of making a ham sandwich, I think he goes, "Oh shit, I'm making a sandwich."
Where did this come from?
I don't even think he remembers. It's bad. So
he doesn't premeditate what goes on it.
No, he didn't premeditate mayonnaise. This man, never mind murder. So the sentencing comes around here, and wow, I mean, what do you do with this guy at this point?
Hospital forever.
Well, not quite. You, sir, may fuck off. Life without parole. Just
there are
prison
be so
forever.
Many bodies.
How many?
Bodies.
Unless they keep him in a ward.
You can't ignore him forever.
You can't medicate this guy. No. You can't just let him roam around with people. He's going to be eating people's face.
Wander around in sweatpants amongst.
To him, teeth are a weapon.
Yeah.
He doesn't need a knife, a shank.
He just smuggled 30 of them in this motherfucker.
He will saw your head off with these fucking things. I don't remember, but enough to bite your face off.
It's a lot.
32,
it's like 28.
28, something like that. So, wow. The DA says, we commend the Stone County jury for seeing through the defendant's insanity argument.
Yeah.
They're acting like he's not insane.
Right.
I don't care if you're
malingering this son of a bitch.
Yeah, psychiatrist, layperson, anybody can hear anything. Just hear what I just told you.
He Ozzy Osbourne'd his mom.
That's it. And
he bit her head off.
You go, that's crazy.
Malingering.
Yeah.
Wow. He's faking it for special treatment.
And he's really, to me, you know what? If he's faking it, he hit it out of the park, man. He faked it to the back row.
That is the ultimate faking it till you make it.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
They say, as ADA Burrell told the jury in closing arguments, this defendant got high, got mad at his mom, and killed her. It's that simple.
No, it's not.
That's not that
He
simple.
had her blood in his mouth.
A lot of it.
Yeah.
Chunks. He had her viscera, fucking flesh in her mouth.
Oh, he bit every vein in her neck through.
Imagine he had to get sprayed hardcore.
Splashed.
Holy shit. They said, we know that this trial has been painful for the family and are hopeful that the closure of the criminal case can help in the healing process. How? No, you can't.
What are you gonna do?
Nothing's going to help in the healing process.
That doesn't heal.
No. There's a fucking head missing.
Yeah.
So anyway, there you go. There's Wiggins, Mississippi.
What the fuck?
One of the craziest goddamn cases we've ever talked about, I think. There.
Unbelievable.
That is wild stuff. So yeah, he did that, and he's life without.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with him in there. Like I said, I don't know if he's in solitary, if he's being isolated in like the whatever, or if he's in the mental health unit. Or, I'm not sure.
He's certainly wigging out, James.
He's doing something.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
This place is a nightmare.
That was the first one they popped in. Yeah.
I'm never coming back.
I love it. That's amazing. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't stay out of Wiggins, I guess, because this place is crazy.
It's a mess.
They all know each other, and it's fucking insane. So, if you like that episode,
they all know each other, and they still fuck each other up. Stay out.
Stay out of there. It's no good. Well, the barbecue probably is good, but outside of that, you can leave. So do that. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Also, leave a review on whatever app you're listening on. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets for live shows. Yeah. Austin, Texas, you're up left. Not that many tickets left. So get in there because it's going to sell out before the show for sure.
It's crazy.
And we have Phoenix sold out the next night. Fucking amazing. And then Boston almost sold out too. And New York, we're releasing the rest of the tickets. I think we just did.
They should be
They're
out now.
released.
Yeah,
They're
done.
So if you've been
that's
looking
the last of them.
If you've been looking for Terrytown, those are the ones that we have. There's no
hurry.
more left after this. So yeah, get them right now because it was like just a few dozen we released. That was it. So get in there right now. Get your tickets. Also, tickets for the virtual live show, which is still available if you're listening anytime before November 13th. Was November 13th, 2024. You can get it. It's available for 2 weeks after the October 30th air date. And it is fucking hilarious.
It's terrific.
A story almost as crazy as this, by the way. It really is. You're going to...
Those two back-to-back is too much.
It's too much. Yeah, we've really had a lot going on with this week here. So definitely check that out. Shutupandgivememurder.com. Patreon.com. patreon.com/crime and sports. What happens there?
Oh, it's all the Patreon.
All the bonus stuff happens.
So much. Yeah.
You can get anybody $5 a month or above. You get everything. You get a whole big back catalog, hundreds of episodes you've never heard. You get new stuff every other week. One crime and sports, one small town murder, and we give you all of it for $5.
We're wigging out.
I'm telling you, it's too much. We're biting heads off, everybody. We're crazy. It's an insane fucking offer
What
here.
a deal.
So for crime and sports this week, we're going to talk about pedestrianism, which isn't what it sounds like.
No.
It was the most popular sport going in the 1800s, and it actually had performance-enhancing drugs. Guys were getting coked out and fucking
We got to find the Hall of Fame.
big mustaches and shit. It's wild stuff
see it.
from the 1800s. Old-timey insanity. Then for small town murder, we're going to talk about that documentary, The Devil on Trial, which is about, that's part of it. It's an exorcism thing where they tried to exorcise this child, and then later on he had his defense in court was that he was possessed by a demon, so he's not guilty.
Yeah.
If this guy who chewed his mom's head off and is really crazy, if he's guilty, Demon Boy's guilty too. We'll also talk about just some exorcisms things because I find that shit fascinating. So we'll talk all about that. Patreon.com/crime and sports, and you get a shout out at the end of the show. That said, also listen to Crime and Sports. Listen to your stupid opinions because that shit was banging too this week. So keep coming back, keep hanging out with us every goddamn week. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
If you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
1942, Europe. Soldiers find a boy surviving alone in the woods. They make him a member of Hitler's army. But what no one would know for decades, he was Jewish. Could a story so unbelievable be true? I'm Dan Goldberg, and from CBC's Personally, Toy Soldier. Available now, wherever you get your podcasts.